The Bayou Geeks. Please subscribe.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Bayou Geeks. I'm Phatty 316. How's it been going? Hope it's been a good week for all of y'all. It's been a good week for me. We got a special guest for y'all tonight, so let's get it moving. Let me introduce y'all. Know him, you love him. The co-host, Maximus G420. What's going on, my friend?
What's good, baby? What's good? Yeah, it's been a good week. I actually got this shirt from my daughter. She sent it to me the other day. It says classic since 1977, original. That's right. That's, you know, I should have got two of them. Gave you one, Phatty. That would have been awesome. But I want to give her a shout out real quick for that because you know, Puppy misses you. Love you. And also everybody out there, podcast family, make sure you guys like and subscribe, rate and review wherever you hear us. Make sure you tell your mom and them. But yeah, bro, it's been a good week. It's been warm. We went from a couple weeks ago where the Mother Nature was trying to kill us to now it was 80 degrees today. I was outside in shorts and slides, going around with no t-shirt. Nothing. It was just ridiculous.
I know it's hot as hell out there today.
I don't understand.
I don't have the temperature right here, but yeah, it's like 80 here now. We had snow 2 weeks ago. Amazing.
It's gonna be bad.
But we have someone in the waiting room. You want to introduce them? From the podcast Gardens of Doom, you know him, you love him, Mr. Jeff Lippman. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's going on? They know me and they love me. That's great. I mean, what else needs to be there? By the way, if we have a lull in the conversation, Phatty, I had that same shirt. So ask me if we just get stuck, tell me the story about that shirt.
The Walmart Batman shirt I think everybody owns.
Mine was from Target, but yeah.
This is like the most comfortable shirt I have ever owned.
He wears it all the
dude,
time.
you got the Batman shirt on tonight. I'm like, I know, but I wore it last week.
It's like 90%. I literally try to wear a different shirt every episode, every time, because I have that many shirts in my collection. My wife buys me a shit ton of shirts, and I wear one. If there's been a couple of them that I just like, and I'll wear them over and over again, but I try to wear a different shirt. I can wear a different shirt every episode for a year, no problem. Phatty, Batman, every goddamn time. I never know if we wanted to edit, we would have to look at my wardrobe because we would never know when Phatty was actually on there or not.
I'm a simple creature.
Hey, Homer Simpson hasn't changed his shirt in 40 years.
We love Homer Simpson.
Speaking of, none of them changed their underwear in 40 years. So hey, you know, Homer's still wearing the same underwear.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming to the show, Jeff. We appreciate you guys. You coming out.
Thanks
Phatty
for
told me you
having
were coming out. I was super excited. I was like, man, how'd it go with you and him on his show? And he's like, things came up and I couldn't. I was like, God damn it! Like it's supposed to be a home and home.
Up and the power went out too. That didn't kind of help.
Oh yeah, I remember. I forgot you told me about that. Freezing your ass off.
So it's like, I remember just in the middle of talking with Jeff, and it's like, click. It's like, what the hell? And he texted me, everything all right? You get disconnected?
It was divine intervention.
But Jeff, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
All right, so Garden of Doom is the feed. There's actually 3 shows that live in that feed because I'm too cheap to pay for 3 feeds. Garden of Doom, here I'm going to try to do the short version. Garden of Doom is like the Rogan experience without the celebrities and the broness, or the over-broness anyway. So a lot of variety, cryptids, UFOs, mythology, history, anthropology, some pop culture, some, you know, just things that interest me, and done pretty well for myself guest-wise. Garden Views is sort of the companion show. So there was a time where I interviewed a guy who had been, basically his parents were Scientologists from the time he was 9 or 10, and he broke out of the church like when he was like in his late 30s. And interviewing him, I'm like, this guy shouldn't be on a show called Garden of Doom. And so I'm like, well, what do I do? And then I came, Garden Views, interviews. Oh, okay, good. So that's for your more like, so I call Garden of Doom sort of like your History Channel primetime. Sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's Ancient Aliens. Garden Views is more like your traditional magazine show, more legal, realpolitik, history, just you name it. It's mostly that kind of thing. A lot of law, but a lot of extrapolation as to what the laws of space will be or might be. And then God Presents the Book of Black is probably the one that maybe your audience will find the easiest to jump right into, and that's with me and one of my two co-hosts, PJ Black, professional wrestler of 26 years. If you're only a WWE guy, you probably know him as Justin Gabriel from the Nexus and the Core, and or Mr. Thomas, who's in MLW. He's been in Chikara. He's in the Boomaye Fight Club. He's been around the block as well. And we talk to people in and around wrestling about, Garden of Doom types of things. So it's pretty much guest led. And we've had EC3, Tyrus, Aaron Stevens, who you might know as Damian Sando, Jimmy Jacobs, who's in the news a lot these days, Famous B from Lucha Underground, Super Panda. I always throw in Super Panda because the name Super Panda is super fantastic.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's some exciting stuff. And we've got Alex Kane coming up in the future, Vinny Pacifico, Shazza McKenzie just confirmed today. So yeah, it's looking good.
That does sound great. So, okay. So with your show being like that, let's just jump right into it right now. Let's talk some conspiracies and theories and all that. So the biggest one I want to throw out now. All right. Hear me out. The one that no one, we've been talking about this for 48 years now, and no one still has answered it. Who shot first? Han or Greedo?
Oh, no. Han shot first.
Han shot first, bro. It's always been Han.
Yeah.
We just like them, so we're either going to take a side anyway.
Yeah. It was the Bush doctrine.
Well, mystery solved.
All right, come on.
Didn't they even try to make it? I think they tried to recut it way like Greedo actually shot first or something like that. I thought I heard. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to make it like the JFK conspiracy.
And then you were always thinking it was like that Mandela effect too. Gary, Maximus, sorry.
Yeah, no, but I said that Mandela effect about other parts. That one I never thought of the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect one that I believe in is that the whole C-3PO has a silver bottom half of his right leg, which I never remember. I never remember ever. I had the toy when I was a kid. There was never anything silver ever on him whatsoever, and now there is. But then you go back and you can see videos and pictures of C-3PO with all gold, like even like ornaments. I think they had like at McDonald's or some shit. Same thing with the Luke, I am your father. That whole thing. That's another Mandela effect one. Like we can get into it. Bro. I got a whole bunch of them that are in my mind that I remember a certain way, and part of our society remembers it a different way, and that's just weird that one thing can be, split into two almost equal halves of people remembering one thing versus another.
Absolutely. I mean, how many times has Abe Vigoda died?
Yeah, that's the thing. I've heard about that one too. That there's a few of them that are just weird, that are weird to me. Like I don't understand. Like I remember, like certain dates where I was like, no, I was in this. Like this came out this year because I was in high school and I remember what I was doing when this came out. They're like, no, it came out a year later. I'm like, that couldn't be. That doesn't make sense to me. But what do I know? I'm just a little guy on the internet.
Little guy, you're Maximus. That's like the biggest guy.
I'm just a stoner on a pop culture podcast.
An underground show. We broadcast from our basement. Oh, wait a second. We're in New Orleans. We don't got no basements out here.
No basements here.
That's just crazy. Yeah, it's nuts outside too, man.
If you see one, it's like a white tiger in the wild. It's very rare.
Yeah,
believe it.
But let's get into some real shit. Aliens. Let's start with aliens. Fact of
the
fiction,
movie or the beings.
Let's hear Jeff's views. Your thoughts on aliens?
Mathematically close to impossible that there are not aliens. But I would say that from their perspective, they are not aliens. We'd be the aliens.
Okay. So you believe there is other life somewhere.
So you're a believer.
Somewhere in the infinite universe.
I think that when the odds are against infinity, always bet on infinity.
Yeah. I that's why I've always you'd be insane to believe that we're the only living intelligent life in that big universe that goes on, like you said, infinity. It'd be insane to believe that.
Yeah, look at some of the animal and wildlife that are in our own planet, like octopi, like octopuses. They're so goddamn smart. they are an alien in themselves. Those things are just incredibly intelligent. People are like, no, they're not. I'm like, you have no idea. I was like, yeah, these things can form into any kind of shape. They're basically just goo with suction cups and a bird beak. What do they have? Like 4 brains or something like that?
Well, they have different. Each arm has like a nervous system that simulates a brain. The beak part is actually squids have beaks. The octopi don't. But
Okay.
th- my favorite thing about octopus is that if they're bored or angry, they actually throw stones and other things they can find at like other fish or other octopus.
Just because they want to.
Yeah, just because they want to sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
they're like people. They're like, why'd you push that kid? I don't know. I didn't like the way. I didn't like the cut of his jib.
yeah. I mean, there's like a rocks that every now and get thrown from Jupiter, like vaguely in our direction. So somebody thinks that there's like Jupiter's a giant octopus throwing rocks at us.
Maybe.
Shitty aim. But,
Well, let me ask you this, Jeff. Do you believe, or would you like to believe, that we're going to see aliens in our lifetime, which is about maybe 40 years tops between all of us? I mean, I know we're all in our 40s, I'm sure. I don't see myself going past 90 or 80. Really, I really don't. I mean, I don't even know if I want to go that far. But do you think we'll see it in our lifetime, or we just may miss it just by that much?
I don't know. I mean, if you want a realistic answer, I mean, I'm not sure that it would be great for us to see aliens because I'm a fairly big adherent to the dark forest theory. I don't think they're going to be like ET or so far beyond us that they're going to, be like the Viracocha, the Buddha or the Christ coming back and, teaching us all about benevolence and world peace. I think that once they take notice of you, they feel that you're a possible, menace. But do I think we'll see it? I think we will find life, whether you count it. I mean, there's not even an agreement as to what the definition of life is on this earth. So I had an astrobiologist on Garden Views not too long ago, maybe like 5 or 6 months ago. And there's a disagreement as to whether or not viruses are life or not. And they do everything else that life can do. The only thing is they cannot procreate within themselves. They must go into another body to procreate, which I guess is different than, laying your eggs in something else for harvesting, because there's things like that. I don't really understand the distinction myself, but they adapt, they improvise, they evolve, they want to continue, which seems to me to be living. So the method of their ability to procreate themselves doesn't seem like it should be dispositive as to what's not life. I mean, like mammals, it's like they have fur, warm-blooded, live birth, and they produce milk. Well, the platypus and the echidna lay eggs, so
platypus are weird.
yeah. So, I mean, there's exceptions to everything. So anyway, I mean, there's like 2 places that they've just discovered the seeds of life, which the same astrobiologist told me that's exaggerated. It's like the building blocks which could lead to the seeds of life. All right, got it. I'm not the one with PhD, but both on Cirrus and what was the other? And an asteroid, like and I don't know if it's the same or not, but if you go with the assumption that in some primordial ooze, rocks from the sky fell and mixed with our little combination of water and electrolytes and whatever, and formed these Frankensteins that became single-celled organisms that got more. I mean, if there's seeds, sort of in our inner belt, then, not inner belt, because Eris is around Jupiter, I think. Where is Eris? Yeah, so that's outside the belt.
Yeah, it's outside the belt.
Yeah, but inside our solar system, then I think it's insane to think, not insane, but I think it's irrational to think that there's not other life out there. And at some point, I mean, we're not, our world isn't that particularly old, based on what they think the universe's age is. So
why would who you talk to?
Yeah. Why wouldn't other planets have cooled in the ever expanding Goldilocks zone, before we have, and have a similar set of life, or life found some other way? Like, who was the doctor from Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park? What was his name?
Oh, Ian Malcolm.
Ian Malcolm. It was life finds a way.
Yeah, it always does. It's true, which is weird, because you hear about these studies and researchers when they're looking at like underwater volcanoes, and there's sharks that live in these geothermal areas that no shark has ever really been in, because sharks don't usually like the warm water like that, the hot water. They like the deep cold. And these sharks live there and they thrive there. And then they find bacteria there. And you're just like, how does that thing live being that hot all the time?
Or we see to eat, something goes to either. I was thinking about something really weird today, and that is the subject of toe fungus. And hear me out, because I know this sounds weird. Because our fingernails and our toenails, they're dead. They're dead. But the fungus itself is alive. So, like, if you have toe fungus, you have a problem with actually life being on your dead parts of your body.
Like, yeah, it's an oxymoron. It doesn't make sense. You're like, why do they call it a parkway, but we drive on it? And it's a driveway, but we park on it.
Right. And freeways have tolls.
Exactly. You're like, what? I don't understand. But yeah, no, it's funny. I remember that. I don't know if it was a Japanese or South Korean study. I couldn't remember, but they were talking about the way they were building their infrastructure for their city planning was by using this fungus that finds the most economical way to lay out versus whatever platform, what the topography of the area is, and they model it after that because they found the quickest way to figure it out. And like you said, it's a mold, it's a fungus, but how is that thing alive? It doesn't look like anything. It looks like something brown or yellow, and it just keeps on growing, it just keeps on spreading, but it spreads in only in a certain pattern, and it avoids areas that were more difficult to grow. And it's just like, well, how did it know how to do that? Somehow it figured it out. Like,
it sounds smart, but is it so smart? I mean, like, the fungus, the mold, the lichen or whatever it is doesn't weigh a whole lot. You got like 18 wheelers and semis and going over the asphalt. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's brittle rocks. There's tunnels. I don't know. I hope that's not the only thing they use, but it certainly sounds like a novel approach.
Yeah, it was something that was interesting to me, just because, like, we were talking about how you're talking, especially with toe fungus, like something dead that's actually alive on something dead, not the other way around. And you're like, But yeah, I don't know. I think it's dumb to ever think that there's not other intelligent life comparative to us, because that's what we really mean when we say if there's intelligent life, something that we can look at and think, because we people can say that about insects, but are they really that smart, or there's a specific thing that needs to be this part of the puzzle to keep the ecosystem alive, and they just know how to do this one thing. They don't adapt to make it any better or worse than what they are. They're just there to be there. They're a placeholder. Are we just a placeholder? Like, is there something that's going to evolve more than us? Have we started to see that? I don't know.
I agree with you on that, but also as humans, and I guess I want to say progression. I mean, we can also make it worse. They talk about it now, the ecosystem. If we kill off these things, it could affect
everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, it's one of the biggest problems of like living down here in the Gulf is we're building property and putting land and buildings in these ecosystems that don't belong here, and then people wonder why there's black bears and alligators in their backyard, because they lived there first. That's why. You decided to build your suburban house out here, and they decided to walk in because they're like, hey, I have generations of my bear family that have been coming through here. What are y'all doing? Get mad when I snatch your dog up.
Yeah, well, crocodilians have been alive for 500 million years, so I mean they've really got the first rights. There's like 5 kinds of animals that have survived all 5 mass extinction events, and crocodilians are one. Sharks are another. Scorpions are one. I think like horseshoe crabs. And
I think horseshoe crabs is another one. I've heard of that.
And like tardigrades, I think is.
I don't know what's that. What is it?
Those are those like little. They're like almost microscopic. They call them like water bears, but they're almost like caterpillars with like a. But when you blow them up, they look terrifying. But I think it's tardigrades.
Most small animals and insects look terrifying when you blow them up.
You're right. That's so true. So I have a cheap plug in a couple months. And I hope he doesn't cancel. But I'm interviewing a professor from University of Durham in England, not North Carolina, who wrote a book.
Go North Carolina.
Right. He wrote a law book, citing a lot of science fiction and things like that as well. And it's basically outlining the rules of engagement when the human race encounters sapient extraterrestrial life, and like what when like the rules of war apply and when they don't, and how they apply. And it's and I read the book, but of course I read it way too early to to remember the details of it. But it's really interesting, and I can't wait to have that discussion.
Yeah, that sounds interesting because that's my biggest thing is like I don't know because you see all these conspiracy theories and people talking about the reptilians and this and that, and people are just wearing skin suits and then you see certain videos and you're just like,
too much.
well, I remember V from back in the day. That was great. That was a great show.
Hey, great
Or
show.
what was that? What was that movie with Roddy Piper? They live.
Live.
Yeah, with the glasses. He puts on the sunglasses and he can see all the propaganda, and he sees the alien people. But the crazy part is like, I wonder if that's actually happening now. Like, it's one of those things where they're going to show you a negative on purpose to make you think that can't be real, but it's actually happening. And they're just doing that to make you say, oh, like watching horror films and movies now, and then seeing something like that similar in real life. The horror film looks more real than the real life stuff. Like seeing a car accident in real life looks like, wow, that okay, whatever. But then you see it in like in a TV show, it makes it so much worse. You're like, oh, that wasn't even that bad. It's like, I got to get by a car. Guy just rolls off. He'll be fine. He just broke his leg. It's no big deal. Doesn't hurt that bad.
You remember the show Chips, right? I mean, you'd think that like cars doing like, the General Lee kinds of up the ramp, like, jumps in the highway was something that happens all the time, as opposed to never.
No.
The Smokey and the Bandit, the Firebird could do it, but the police cars couldn't. It was like, they would just like go straight down. They would just not ever launch, even though they did the same thing, same spot, but they would just go doop.
That's right. The Mercury Monarchs.
Have you guys ever seen what was that called? Where they used to test the theories about things that were
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters. There you go. Like watching Mythbusters and then seeing them how a car actually, like how hard it is for a car, a regular stock standard car, to jump a ramp. Like the reason that some of those cars can jump those ramps is so many modifications have been made to it and so much weight has been pulled out of it that it's basically just the engine, the frame, and a person inside of it. That's it. Like in a small fuel tank. So it's just funny watching stuff like that. But that is what makes me believe, or not even, I don't even know if I want to believe, that there might be something that's bigger than all of us that's controlling all these things, that's making us think that, oh, that can't be real. Hell, we talked about it on here before, right, Phatty? The Pentagon during the pandemic said there were aliens, said there was UFOs or UAPs there, and nobody gave a shit. Everybody was like,
I don't remember that
whatever. Huh?
I don't remember that conversation.
We talked about it. So I brought it up so many times on this damn show, and you never remember shit. It's killing me.
Probably not. I was like, boring. Well, since we're a pop culture show, we talked about aliens. Now let's bring it back to the pop culture side of it. Jeff, favorite alien movie? It could be fact or fiction movie. It could be a sci-fi movie or more of a documentary movie or something like that.
Wow. Oh, well. Favorite? Probably Alien. The best? Probably Interstellar.
Oh, that's good. I just rewatched Interstellar with my wife because she's never seen it. And she's like, this movie's fucking great. And then when it was over, she was surprised that it was already over. And I'm like, babe, we watched the movie for like 3.5 hours. What are you talking about? Like, this is not a short movie.
What about
Arrival's close as well.
Yeah, right. With Charlie Sheen?
No. I hope I have the name right. The one with Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner.
I don't remember that one. I may not have seen that one. I was like, the one with Charlie Sheen was horrible. Well, the concept was fine. Just
right.
the execution.
I'm pretty sure that girl was a topless at some point, so that was good.
What about you, Max?
I like Alien is my favorite movie. I've always liked that.
Like more on the nonfiction side.
Yeah, like other than that, like I watch a lot of documentaries. I watch Ancient Aliens. I've always watched that. I've always been big into that. As far as series or networking would go. But anything that there's too many there's other shows that I've watched that had aliens in them that I like. Yeah, it was The Arrival. Yeah, it was Arrival with Amy Adams and Charlie.
Yeah, of course, everybody. I mean, everybody watches the show. Mine's Aliens, the sequel. That's
the
my
sequel.
favorite.
Yeah.
Well, now when you get down to more like of a documentary, serious movie, it's tough. I probably had like 3 because I love those type of movies.
Have you ever watched the Skywalker Ranch, the series on Netflix?
Yeah. But I was talking Skywalker Ranch. What the hell? How did we go from that?
because that's what
You
it's about.
mean Skinwalker Ranch, by the way.
Is it Skinwalker? Okay, there you go. Thank you.
What
So-
part are you
Skywalker is
watching?
entirely different thing.
Yeah.
Is that nudist colony or something?
No, there is a Skywalker Ranch. That's George Lucas's.
Well,
where
yeah, I
they
know the
have all
Skywalker Ranch.
that's where they have all the the Lucasfilm and the special effects things.
No, but my favorite's definitely Fire in the Sky. I love Fire in the Sky. And there was another Communion with Christopher Walken's good, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, that was another great one. I love those three movies.
Those are
Great.
good.
So
Contact also. Contact was really good.
On to the next thing, I guess. Maximus thing?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Another one. Okay, another one. Here we go. We're gonna bring it back to the mythological things.
Well, how about Terminator? That was always a good one.
Terminator? What the hell? I was talking about alien movies.
He said it's kind of an alien.
There's nothing alien about Terminator. It was all on Earth.
It's true.
So are all these other ones.
Jesus. Sorry, Chris. I got a rude co-host. This week's pay's docked.
Wow.
Think I don't get paid anything.
Well, thank God, huh?
Praise Marduk.
Let's jump into another one. A couple famous ones: Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster. Real or fake?
Fake.
I have always agreed with that.
I don't know. Maybe.
I would. My only reason I'd say it now, as I'm older, maybe when I was a kid, I probably had a different. But as I get older, it's like, you think somebody would have saw one of these damn things by now, especially with all the technology and shit they got. You think they would have found. The Chinese has been looking for the Yeti for like 40 years. Because remember, you see it on the paper in the supermarket. Chinese say they'll have the Yeti within a week. It's like, still waiting on that Yeti.
Yeah, the Loch Ness Monster, I don't necessarily believe in that one. But a thing that lives out in the woods that we can't see, we got them down here. What do they call them down here? What, a Rougarou? The little swamp monster thing that's out here?
Something like that,
Yeah, the Rougarou. So who knows? And people see stuff, and who knows if half the time they're drunk or high or whatnot. And that's the same.
I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
It's the same thing that happens with people that get they claim that they're been abducted by aliens. Nobody believes them; they just think they're crazy.
Well, the first footage of Bigfoot, that most famous footage, if you couldn't tell that was like the fakest film ever made, and people like, oh, it's the real shit. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. That most famous, where you just can walk. It's like that is the most fakest shit you ever seen in your life. Just the way it was walking. If they would have kind of got it ducked off somewhere and it moved and you didn't see it again, and just maybe a little shadow here or there, make it believable. That was just too obvious.
It was a human gait. That was pretty clear.
Yeah, that was definitely there has been other videos and whatnot that are out there. I think it was at Yosemite. There was a camera showing what looked like to be a group of Sasquatches walking through off of, and you could see it because it was off of a camera that just opened up the field. They just looked at the plane and watched the buffalo go through. But you could see like 4 bipedal creatures walking in the background in the distance, and you're just like it makes sense that it's like, what is that thing? Because it's not, you can tell it's not a deer. The buffalo just literally walked past. So like things like that make me believe more or not, like closer to the maybe yes versus maybe no, that there's something out there. But that's just, like I said, that's just me. And I've seen a bunch of stuff out there that I don't know if it's real or not, but some of it's very convincing. Some of it, especially from the National Wildlife, Service, they're the ones that are releasing the data. Like, what is it going to make you want to go to Yosemite because you seen Bigfoot? Maybe. Yeah. I guess that your tourism, and if people are going to set up camps and getting camp permits and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't. It could just be in 4 people just walking around in suits. But it didn't have a normal gait either. That was the only thing that was different.
It is okay to believe. It's fine. Just because we don't doesn't make you wrong.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
Okay.
Phatty knows.
What's that?
That I'm always wrong.
Oh, yeah, you are.
That's not what I said. I didn't say you're always wrong.
Oh, no. That's an inside joke between me.
He knows his pools, though. He's a whiz when it comes to pool science.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing it for 20 years, bro. What do you want me to do? Yeah, literally 21 years this April.
We talking about billiards, or we talking about swimming pools?
Swimming
pools, but I'm actually good at billiards as well. I haven't played in a few years, but I used to be in a league and I have my own cue.
How about gambling pools? You go to those as well?
No, I'm not a big. I don't like to gamble. I'm not a big gambler. I used to gamble a lot when I was younger. I used to play because I grew up in Chicago, so I've played craps, in the street, just throwing dice on the ground. Played poker, no limit,
First of all,
hold'em, 7
thank
card,
you for
5 card.
thinking I know that people play craps on the street, but I have no idea.
It's just like if you ever look in and see a movie, you see the guys in the back alley and there's just money on the ground and they're just throwing dice. Like that's actually a thing. Quarters is
I
another
just thought
thing.
that was dice. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's craps. Basically, it's all it is. It's the same rules as craps, except there's no house there.
Okay, all right, fair
Chris,
enough.
if you don't, I mean Chris, Jeff, if you don't mind, can I ask you what you do for a living?
Sure. You don't know?
Huh? I don't look. I'll be honest. I don't get into like people's business. I mean, I learn enough about you till I get to know you. Then once I get to know you, I'll start learning more about you. But I don't like try to intrude on people's lives and shit like that.
Oh, that's all right. It's just been it's pretty public, and we come from a rather small extended family of podcasts. But I'm a lawyer. I'm an attorney.
Oh, yeah. So we're the guys that come to your house and clean your pool.
I live in a condo and I don't have a pool. There's a community pool.
You're a good man.
We clean that pool.
Yeah, we clean that pool. Yeah,
so somebody's cleaning it. That's true.
What kind of law do you practice? Are you a defense attorney? Or are you a criminal attorney? Are you?
No, I do mostly business, tax exempt, some IP like trademarks mostly. Occasionally copyright, but I don't really love copyright because people always think it's more than they think it is. And some estate planning, and I'm also sort of the guy who handles miscellaneous.
There you go. Yeah, because my sister's an attorney, and then my youngest stepson who's graduating, who's now becoming an accountant, which we found out his junior year. He decided to switch majors because he was in pre-law, because he wanted to be a corporate lawyer, and handle mergers and big companies, this and that. Then he decided to change his mind because he said, I didn't want to go to school that. I said, all right. I said, hey, look, man, whatever you want to do. Like I support it 100%. We hate that he's moving so far because the East Coast just seems like, especially like DC, that just seems like another side of the world from us down here in New Orleans. It's
only 45 miles from me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll have probably Chris Matthews be out there soon. I'll tell him I got some good people if you need out there.
Oh, is Matthews moving again?
That's a whole nother thing. We can get into that off air.
I thought he was happy in the high plains.
Shit happens.
Gotcha. I will ask. No, he's doing a reverse Bischoff.
Yeah. Kind of, sort of, yeah.
All right. I got you.
But let's get into y'all want to watch the trailer for? Hold on, shit. Fantastic Four. Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, so I heard it looks pretty good. So I mean, let's give it a check.
It's
ready
fine.
to go, but I was dealing with other business too.
Is this Spitball Media like Bayou edition?
What's
Is this Spitball Media Bayou edition?
Kind of, sorta.
Okay.
I guess so. That's how Phatty decided to format the show, but
okay.
And I listen to those guys every once in a while, but I never watch them because I'm usually at work.
We are much looter though than Spitball Meat. I'll tell you that. John and all them, they're a little sugar coated compared to us.
Really?
I mean, you've listened to it on some of our live stuff, Jeff. I mean, I've seen you on that. And yeah, we're a little bit, and we're like the drunken sailors.
You've been very well behaved. Are you doing that for me? Stop it.
I think he's doing that for you. I've been trying to fly.
Well,
called out.
No, I got.
You want me to make you feel comfortable?
Like a new woman, you gotta, just be cool with them. The next date, that's when we'll, have the fun.
Oh, can't put the hand up the skirt right away, huh? Okay,
gotcha.
I gotta feel you out first,
Well, I haven't seen the trailer, so yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
I like superheroes
right now. Let's see.
I used to until the MCU ruined it after Eternals.
Oh God, that's not. Okay.
Well, I wasn't a fan of the last one they made. I mean, I thought the first one and the second one were pretty good. Then they did the remake, and it was like,
terrible. The remake was horrendous.
Make sure the sound's up. All right, here we go.
You mortals do not understand the magnitude of what approaches.
before everything changed.
Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock. And Johnny never caught fire.
Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
The Fantastic Four. I have seen worlds fall to him. I have seen civilizations erased. There's nothing you can do to stop him. Unless you find a gateway.
A gateway to where?
To another timeline.
Galactus is no mere force of nature. He is an inevitability. Yet even inevitability can be controlled. And you know that better than anyone, my good friend.
It looks
All
pretty
right.
damn good.
It does. It's weird it's Silver Surfer's a female now. That's all right.
I think this is going to be one of them time jumps. They're going to do the multiverse watch.
Yeah, the multiverse timeline.
This is
TVA
all going to play into
TVA is gonna get involved
all
again.
the next phases.
I like Claire de Lune, the music. I don't like hiring 50-something-year-olds for roles that you think you're going to need for the next 20 or 30 years. So why the hell hire Pedro Pascal to be Reed Richards? The woman playing Sue Storm looks like Charlotte Flair now, which is like 7 iterations ago from what Charlotte Flair first looked like. I don't like who's playing Johnny Storm. I don't like a female Silver Surfer, and I have no idea what is the obsession with making the Thing look short and dumpy. Like the Thing is supposed to be able to go toe to toe with the Hulk for at least 9 minutes. Why do they keep making it like is Michael Chiklis the normal thing? No, actually, I thought this movie looks terrible. I have to be honest with you. This trailer has told me you can wait till it comes to Disney Plus for free.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about when I seen this trailer. This because it got put in our group chat early in the week when the trailer first dropped. I saw it and I was just like, all right, it looks okay. I like the Michael Chiklis version.
and Galactus with the British accent. Okay, I get it, but come on. And John Malkovich looks like a retarded Moses.
God damn it.
I like the way it looks though. That 60 retro future look. I like that. I'm gonna give it a chance. And because someone's telling me this is gonna be like one of them twist movies, it's gonna change somehow. I have a feeling because they were talking about the future or something like that, or another time period, or another
time. Yeah, they gotta figure another timeline.
And I think that's it's all gonna come into play somewhere else. This is not watch, they're gonna have the original Silver Surfer come back in some small way, shape, or form. Watch.
I have a feeling
what movies look beautiful. The most recent 3 Star Wars trilogy movies looked absolutely beautiful. They were absolutely terrible.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I love the setting in the Force Awakens when like Rey's riding the bike and you see like the crashed Star Destroyers. That was great.
Oh, yeah, when they're doing those low flying fighters and all like the sand goes away and it's red underneath. Striking visual, shitty movie. So I'm not a cinephile that's like, oh, it looked beautiful. If you're starting with it looks beautiful or the music is great. No, that's not what makes that helps a movie. That's not what makes the movie.
She's got a great personality.
This has my attention more than Captain America does. I'm not even interested in watching Captain America. I see you with the Captain America shirt on, but I'm like Steve Rogers loyalist. I think, and if you're going to replace him with somebody,
kind of loyalist you are,
with Bucky at least.
You know, get no argument from me. I have zero interest in this Captain America movie.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has. I don't think anyone does.
Superman
honestly.
seems like more of a bet, and I'm not even 100% sold on this new Superman. I'm more likely to see that before I want to see these other two.
I was interested until I saw Crypto was in it.
I'm curious, but I think Cavill never really got his chance to just play Superman. I mean, he's been the best since Reeve, my opinion.
Great.
Even though Dean I can't think of his name. Dean Cain
Kane,
wasn't
Dean
bad
Cain.
either. I give Dean Cain. He wasn't
He
that
was
bad.
okay, but he was too small to be Superman. That's why I could never believe it. I'm like, he's tiny. Like Superman was a big boy. Like, and that's the part that like I never bought it. I never bought the Dean Cain one. I was like, yeah.
Well, it was a TV show. It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like a romantic. It was almost like what was it? Moonlighting. You know, it was like moonlighting except with a superhero, and again, it gave us Terry Hatcher on a star level. So I mean, I got no complaints. But
you know who I did like is like a young Superman was Smallville was Tom Welling.
The teenage drama show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was on the CW, bro. What do you want me to do?
I like
CW had all of them.
I liked old boy as Lex Luthor. I liked him. I like it. He's a good actor. He has a good podcast too.
I like Cavill. I agree that Cavill was the best Superman, and you know he did it perfectly naturally. It's just some of those movies just really suck, but he didn't.
Yeah,
no, he didn't. No, I don't even think Man of Steel was that bad. I mean, I've seen worse. Man of Steel was not that bad. All it was a carbon copy of its movie back in the day, their first Superman. I can never think of the director.
Oh, I didn't. It'd be Jeffrey Donner. But the Man of Steel, most everything that happened on Earth was good to great until the end got a little wanky. But everything that happened on Krypton was so horrendously bad and stupid. It's like they made it into one of those. Like they made it into like the first Star Wars movie, but then they insisted on having like the Justice League like bug sounds, and it was just so generic. It was like they tried to make Jor-El into like an action hero. I mean, it was so unnecessary. But the stuff that if he just like that's wrong with Zack Snyder. Like he needs editors, but he refuses to have editors, and I don't know. It was very.
They're only there because the contract requires it.
Right.
That's the only reason why they're there. And then when he makes his own movie, it's 4 hours long. You're like, oh.
Well, the worst part is they're gonna make Batman versus Superman, and you're gonna kill Superman before the Justice League's ever established. It's like you already took the end and put it in the beginning, and it ruined the whole. To me, that kind of killed the whole Death of Superman thing, because that was supposed to be something that comes later.
I mean, Batman, who's a guy who lives in the gray, was a complete dick.
Yeah.
Well, the only good thing about Batman versus Superman was that gave us Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll say it. I'm a Batman fan, and I think Affleck did a decent job. I mean, for being like that older Batman, I don't have nothing against Affleck. I think he's been one of the decent ones to do it.
No, he's been fine. But some of the visuals in that were beautiful, and the whole like Batman's afraid of a guy. Are we ready for aliens? Well, Batman wasn't. He's like, the gods they'll make us bow before them, as being false prophets. When did Batman get so like Old Testament-y?
Right? And then he got Wonder Woman helping him, but he's working with her, and she's not as far from Superman. And I mean, Superman, how powerful.
But she's freaking Zeus's daughter. Like he's not concerned about that she's the daughter of an Olympian god. That doesn't make him worry.
You're not concerned about that city under the sea?
It's just a chick, man.
What about all those other where's her dad and all of his other relatives in the Gorgons or whatever? You don't think it might have the guy with the cape who only wants to be a Boy Scout around? That might not be a good idea for when Typhon and Hercules go wild.
But they kind of changed
Batman, the smartest man in the world.
Yeah, well, that cartoon was good when he told him, "Look, I have it in this like a plan for all of y'all. If y'all
I have a plan for every single person."
I'll give him that one. He was ready for him, and he gave Wonder Woman the one. Like, this one's mine in case you ever. It's like, yeah, I'm going to take that from you.
Except Superman can move as fast as the Flash. So let's be honest. Batman's plan is, God laughs literally. So come on.
That was a great scene, though.
And I didn't like Cyborg in the Justice League. It didn't fit. It should have been Green Lantern.
Terrible.
It should have been Green. How was in Green Lantern? I'd never know. That would have been like the original Superpowers group almost.
And they even gave us one in the scene when it's everyone's fighting, Thanos, not Thanos, Darkseid the first time. They gave us a Green Lantern in that.
And
jerks.
They give us and a lot of people. Cyborg's not one of them characters that's like well known. He got more popular when they had the Justice League kids.
Yeah, the animation.
That's when he became popular. He wasn't even around during the superpower era. I don't think that I
he wasn't.
remember.
He came in later. I remember because George Perez, the guy who did Iron Man, did the like the greatest Iron Mans that I remember from kid. He went over and he did Teen Titans, and they were great. Yeah, no, it was terrible all around, terrible choices, and Jason Momoa cannot act worth dick.
Except when he don't have no lines. He was great in Game of Thrones.
Hey, he looks really good, bro.
He probably would have did a better Conan if he would have just shut the fuck up.
That's what made Conan the first one so good. He didn't talk very much.
Exactly.
Arnold knew what his strengths were. He wasn't dumb.
And that's why Destroyer was not as good.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Even though I still like Grace Jones was a fucking beast, you know.
Oh yeah, Grace Jones was a beast.
Some love, you know.
But they had too much going on there. They had Will Chamberlain, and you know they always go too far.
80s, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, dude. There's a whole uncut version of that movie. You could find there was a sex scene with Arnold and the Queen chick.
What?
Yeah. There's a lot cut out of Destroyer. I want to see. I don't know if they did one like an undirected cut of Barbarian. That would
go start googling. All right, to here. Oh wait, I forgot to mute the microphone. My bad.
The naked scene with Arnold.
Hold on.
He's all happy.
Well, there was the what was Thulsa Doom here. I mean, there was the whole orgy scene there. The snakes writhing around, and yeah, I mean, Conan, the first Conan had some
that movies. What? I still watch it. It's one of those movies that you can watch and it's like that movie holds up today. It'd probably make $1 billion, like Aliens. If Aliens holds up today, and it didn't even have VFX effects at all. It was all practical, and it's like that movie holds up.
Yeah, when people were like watching The Northman and telling me about it, I watched them like, yeah, I liked it better when it was called Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, I didn't. That movie. I took the advice from the Spitball Media friends. Oh yeah, brought somebody in for y'all too.
Hey, what's up, yo?
He still got this goddamn Orioles Magic shit on this fucking guy. It's been like 6 fucking weeks. He got this shit on.
It's been a bad off season, man.
Oh my god, fuck that off season.
Jeff asked about you, and I was like, oh man, I should have brought Chris on.
Chris?
That's why I started messaging Chris.
Not much, man.
Like, I need you right now on the double.
I hear you're heading back east side.
Yeah.
Is this like the Midnight Train to Georgia song?
I haven't heard that forever. It's more of a things didn't work out here in Colorado, so
that's exactly like the Midnight Train to Georgia song, except
then yeah.
Except the lady chooses to leave LA with the man, but you're already married, so you know.
Yeah.
Which is good. All right, listen.
If for the moment,
dude, I drove to Santa Fe, New Mexico for a job. It lasted 2 months, and drove my sorry ass all the way back.
Yeah, that's what it's like. It's like I just started the job, and I'm like, oh wow, everything's kind of going the way it's going. So
yeah. My dad is like, I'll come out, I'll drive back with you. I'm like, you know what, thank you, but I think I deserve this. I think I need to do this alone.
You gotta take that path. You gotta make that trek. What is it? What do they call it in Australia? A walkabout?
A walkabout.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother was like, by yourself. I got your ticket.
Yeah, no, I remember my cousin one time she driven from Florida to California just because she wanted to.
I could still say 25 south to 40 west to 44, merge with 70, pick up 80, and from there go down 81 to 83, and then 695, and then I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the Bayou Geeks Geography.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sure you do, but like, do you guys know that like the interstate highway system, like there's like a meaning and for all of the like the numbers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even numbers are east and west, odd numbers are north and south.
But it's even like it's like I-5 means that like 5% of the country is to the south, 95% is to the north. I-95 is like 5% to the east, 95% to the west. It's like and like, you know, anything with a number in front of it is either a spur or a beltway. I mean,
that goes around the city. Yep.
It's
you can take 70 from like Maryland all the way out here.
Damn right.
Well, it's like Interstate 10. It's like, look it out here, Interstate 10.
Yeah,
Interstate 10 goes from
10 will take you
Jacksonville.
probably all the way to California.
Yeah, it goes all the way to Cali.
I've taken Interstate 10 across down to New Orleans and then back again until whatever we cross over to come back into through Alabama, then to get to Georgia. I went to college. I went to Emory, so
Okay.
so we went to Mardi Gras.
It's
That
crazy
was
down here. Speaking of Mardi Gras, it's crazy because we got the Super Bowl that's coming on tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
And oh my God, there was a car fire. I think it was a tank, a guy traveling with a nitrous oxide tanks in the back of his trailer got into a wreck. It exploded. They have the video. If you go on Instagram and look it up, it's all over the goddamn place. And I know exactly where that is on the interstate by the house.
Fuck, they were Fast and Furious or something with
No,
nitro?
it was just there was just nitrous oxide, like for like a doctor's office nitrous, not like nitrous in your car nitrous, not NOS.
Like laughing gas.
Fast and Furious.
And, they got into a wreck and it exploded. But you see the explosion, like the video cuts on about 2 seconds before the explosion happens. Like you could tell they were driving up on the interstate trying to get out of the way. And they already had police on scene because of the wreck and they seen that it was a fire. But then not only that, this just going downtown to the New Orleans area, like New Orleans, central, that was not good. It's not good. Like it's so much construction. There's so many things going on with all the Super Bowl prep and all the pre-gaming for Super Bowl, what is it, 59 licks, which nobody gives a shit down here. Like people here in New Orleans are so good at party anyway. But they got
I mean, you've been here for Mardi Gras, so I mean, New Orleans. It's not a very big city to hold events like this, but we do it so well. That's why they keep coming back here.
Well, because it's a walking city. Because everything is downtown. The quarter is not far from the Superdome. The Superdome is not far from the Moriel Convention Center to the River Walk. It's all right there.
And
everything is downtown.
Crowd control practice every year.
Yep.
You know what?
Or a week and a half.
I've been there for business since, but also through my shows, I have pretty good contacts in the New Orleans sort of paranormal community. So, like, you go French Quarter, like, there's a bunch of places that I know Mambo Brandy, I know Mademoiselle Camille, I know Papa Balthazar, I know Bloody Mary. A couple of others. Sally, oh my God, Williams. She's like a voodoo priestess. But she was initiated in Haiti in Haitian voodoo, and she's like a Ukrainian Jewish white woman. Like she was like the first Caucasian to be indoctrinated.
That's rare. That's super rare.
Yeah,
especially like coming out of the Haitian descent. Because I know how them. I'm Dominican, so I know about them Haitians. And that Santeria that's in the Dominican Republic is voodoo in Haiti. That's stuff I don't like to play with. Me.
Well, she tells the story in her book, but also on my show if you don't want to read a book, and it's the same title. Garden of Doom, Voodoo Visions is the episode. But
there you
go. So if I'm ever down there, like I don't know if I can now authenticate the authenticators, the authentics, but I'd at least like to try, or at least show off.
Yeah, there you go. No more show more than what you look like. It's like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking. Oh, how did you know about that?
That's right. Go to some Voodoo. What's it called? I think it's called Voodoo Authentica. Is one of the shops anyway.
Yeah.
You ever done like any of the ghost tours, anything when you come down here?
I've done ghost tours in Savannah and a few other places. I did not do the ghost tour in New Orleans. Again, when I was there for Mardi Gras, we were there for Mardi Gras. Or things the college kids. So here's the funny thing. I went to, we stayed at Tulane because of course we did. And so we went to some party on Fraternity Row. And of course, everyone who's in New Orleans was actually at Mardi Gras. They go on Mardi Gras parties. So the only people that were at this AE Pie party were literally people from Emory and other. I knew half the people there, and they still didn't talk to me, just like at the regular colleges. So we walk out. It's like weird. It's like we drove 13 hours for nothing. So we're walking, and like a girl is yelling, Jeff, and my friend's like, Jeff, there's a girl calling for you. I'm like, we don't go to Tulane. They're not calling for me. They're calling for a Jeff that goes to this college. What's wrong with you? Girls don't call for me at Emory. No girls.
You don't know who I am.
Lippman. Like, I turn her. A friend of mine that I worked at a summer camp with, a tennis club there with all her friends. The sorority hanging out there. I'm like, hey, what's up? And then also I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, also
Oh, you came here too?
Yeah.
Also,
Big
I
man
found-
on campus now.
I found a sorority house. I got 9 girls for my 7
We
guys.
can hang
It's
out
like,
all weekend.
this is much better than my friend whose cousin was driving us around, and he's like, "Oh, I just got to make a couple stops." He keeps dropping off one sneaker at a time. Of course, dumbass over here. I'm 19 or 20. I have no idea what's going on. And like my friend Gil, who's Cuban, a little bit more street smart than me, and the rest of us goes, "Shut up." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "He's a drug dealer."
It's like, I gotta make a quick stop. Hold on. And then every stop is just 5-6 minutes. Then they come back another stop, 5-6 minutes. Another stop.
I just dropped the sneaker off. It's like, what the hell?
Why does he keep on giving everybody brown paper bags?
It was about to pull a Wayne Brady. Dave, you hungry?
Motherfucker, like to get
Give me my money.
This shit look a little light.
I just
What
got
is this?
ATM
Oh
real
shit,
quick.
son! It's Wayne Brady.
Somebody's ready to hop in and like gun it. Go, go, go! Drive. Where? Just drive.
The guy driving. You all right, Jeff? Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Absolutely not.
I think I've been in
remember
that
those days.
situation once or twice. Not as bad as
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle was, but
No, I
like,
was
"Bro,
the
you-
driver.
Yeah, no, we'll be all right.
Well, I was
Look,
the
was in the car
dumbass
'cause I was the
so,
one
and I
behind,
was there with
so-
4 other dumbasses. So I mean, you know,
Yeah, no, see, like I told you, I grew up in Chicago. Like I grew up around a lot of that stuff, and I was usually one driving when shit was getting done. Like I know how to keep the engine running.
wheelman, Maximus wheelman.
Yeah, there's been a few times. I can't say something because sometimes statute limitations exceed forever.
Say no more.
Yep. I've had to school some people this week about the book Jurassic Park versus the movie
Oh,
after that trailer hit.
I read the book.
Well-
I don't read books,
They're like, man,
audio tapes.
they're going all over the place with these stories and stuff. And I'm like, this is stuff that they were doing from jump in these books. I don't know where y'all talking about. Like John Hammond and them scientists were not good people.
No.
Scientists usually aren't good people. Like,
Yeah, because
they have no morals because science isn't about morality. Science is about what works, what doesn't. Regardless if we should do it or not.
Yeah, because in the book, John Hammond and Ian Malcolm didn't live. They got
Right.
killed on the island. And the river ride. That's why everybody thinks they're bringing the stuff in the book now. Actually, it was in the Lost World, if you look.
Well,
For a
the
lot
raft
of the
scene
stuff.
they're bringing from like the one they're doing for this new one looks like it's almost shot for shot from the book.
But it was kind of
like,
brought
yes.
in with the pterodactyl cage and everything. Remember that? That was in the book with the rod. And I don't remember if they were on a river ride in the book when they went through the pterodactyl cage, but they do go in the pterodactyl cage in the book.
But the thing that got me is like, oh, these things were deemed too dangerous for the original Jurassic Park. So
No,
they
correct.
just left this mutant ass thing walking around this island, just chilling.
Real quick, Chris, correct
They
me
had
if
to
I'm
go,
wrong.
bro.
The ending of the book, wasn't they condemned to an island like or under a government before? Ellie, Grant, and the 2 kids?
Yeah, they were like kind of like, y'all gotta.
They couldn't leave to go back home. They were like stuck. There was something like that. I'd have to go back and check, but yeah,
No,
it was
they
something
got
like
off the
that.
island, but the government kind of came in and took out all the dinosaurs. It's
Well,
like,
yeah, no,
this
I'm
ain't
talking
gonna happen.
about at the end of the book when Grant's talking to somebody and the person tells him y'all can never leave or something like that. I'd have to go back. I swear to God.
I gotta go back and read
I
it.
have no idea.
Yeah.
On
it was
that, I
I'd
know
have to
that
go back and
they
get the
were off
context
the
of it.
island, but they were in like some sort of protection because they didn't want them talking about what happened on the island.
Yeah, because they destroyed the island because it says in the book that they were just laying into the island, whoever government it was.
Yeah.
I
Ironically,
read
that's
this
when
book
they
like
go back to the
35 years
third.
ago. Don't expect me to remember or add anything to this.
Yeah, I don't know about any of this.
I know that's the shit I
too
can
busy
remember off
dating
the.
girls
yeah,
instead of reading books when I was younger.
Like there was this scene where they're
sports.
having dinner
I was
in
popular.
the OG movie, and and Ian Malcolm has the big speech everybody remembers. At the same time that was happening, I'm just like, so these scientists put together some mutant ass T-Rex mixed with a rancor mixed with an ape or whatever that is,
It was a
and
toad.
nobody thought, yo,
Blast
we
that
got to
shit
kill
together,
this.
see if it works.
And we're doing it right now. They're trying to bring back woolly mammoths and mega bison and
Oh, we were talking about that. I put it in the group chat a few weeks back where they that scientists accidentally unfrosted or defrosted 13 crazy viruses that were like 13,000 years old in permafrost.
Why? Well, there have been ones that have been defrosting, not because of scientists, just because of temperature change. They're millions of years old, and you know what? We got no immunities for that because there were no people to develop any immunities for that. So I mean, so I don't know why anyone's worried about aliens or bird flu or conspiracies or whatever. Those things are gonna freaking run through us like, I don't know, like a hot knife through butter.
I'm more worried about people like Kai Cenat pushing around and bullying around his AI robot to teach it and making it run away, because eventually it's gonna be like it catches the hand and breaks the arm. It's like, I am now aware.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh shit, it's Skynet.
We ain't doing this shit no more, Kai.
It's been agreed upon my other Bayou Geeks co-hosts that it's going to be the AI and the Terminators that are going to take us out. We were talking about this yesterday.
What does it say right under my name there? Garner of Doom. All for it.
Yeah, but look, I've been training on my machine. The training machine.
Did you ever get it fixed?
Will be all right. I will lead you. I will be the new John Connor. Okay.
I don't want to live. I want to go down in the first wave.
I don't want to hang out either.
I kind of want to last a little bit. Just a little.
This shit's gonna get bad. It's gonna be horrible. Get me out of here. I'm not trying to
put my earbuds in, play Blaze of Glory, and just go out with a laser gun.
I am gonna go to the nearest Cold Stone and just eat everything and wait for them to kill me while I'm eating a bunch of Cold Stone ice cream.
Nah, not against the robots. I gotta fight the robots. This is destiny for me.
Okay, well, listen.
I'll lead y'all till I'm about 60. Then I'll go out and die.
Like old man Logan.
But yeah. Exactly. I can't go out. I gotta lead y'all.
Can't pop the claws out anymore. Like,
fucking ridiculous.
Old man Phatty.
I feel it now, unfortunately. I'm supposed to go see Acid Bath in April, and it's like, Jesus. Last time I seen them, I was 19 years old. I'm like, oh Jesus. I ain't banging the head no more because I know I'll fucking have a bad neck.
Your neck will hurt. Just request a day off after the concert now.
Because with the cigarettes and no, that ain't happen. It's like, I'm going to be that guy to just
ask for a vacation day for the day after that concert, bro.
Oh, I'm the windmill and your shit's fucked up for the whole.
I'm actually taking the day of and the day after. Get prepared, recuperate.
Are you going to walk around these robots going, Phatty 316 said, I just powered you down?
No. And they can vouch for this. If I ever had like my brain, or the better yet, a robot name after me, I want that robot from the Ice Pirates, the pimp robot. That I want that robot named after me because that's the best fucking robot ever.
Damn it, this motherfucker here, bro. Oh shit. What are you talking
that's
about?
That's robot I want to be, the pimp robot from the Ice Pirates. Yeah, blood.
I'll be R2D2 or something, man.
No, that robot.
Oh,
that is the coolest. If I could buy the real robot of that, it would be in this house right now. That is the coolest fucking robot of all time.
No, man, the coolest robot of all time is
chest and everything.
Johnny number 5.
No.
Johnny number 5 is the coolest robot, bro. Come on.
General Grievous is a pretty righteous robot.
Oh, from Star Wars with yeah.
No, the other General Grievous.
I would want to be.
Well, you didn't hit me right away.
Ultron was smart enough to realize that humanity was the problem.
Well, wait, was Grievous a cyborg? He was part living tissue too, wasn't he?
There wasn't much left of him.
No, there wasn't much left. He
was RoboCop, pretty much a brain,
basically,
head,
yeah,
spine,
like that.
So he was RoboCop.
Robo Evil General.
Let's make the RoboCop Terminator movie. That should have happened a long time ago.
What they need to do is they need to make the old 80s movies that were shitty and make them new movies now.
But if they were shitty, they wouldn't be remembered.
Yeah, but they tried to do RoboCop already, and that did not.
That failed.
No, that was
they turned good movies into shitty movies. He's saying turn shitty movies into good movies.
Yeah, like old concepts of movies that were just bad. And then I can't think of one right now. I had one the other day, but
like Amazon Women in the Avocado Jungle or some shit like that.
Yes.
That would work.
Shannon Tweed, Adrian Bardo, and Bill Maher.
Do it.
If I ever meet Bill Maher, I'm just gonna be like, Love Gin Avocado Jungle, man. Oh, and don't forget Kathy Ireland.
Yeah, like 10,000 BC. Yeah, do it over again.
I don't know. Raquel Welch. I don't know if you're going to be able to replace her.
You can't.
That's a tough one.
That's my first crush.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Raquel Welch. And she never posed nude for anything either, right? Like that was one of her claims
they
to
had
fame.
class back then, them women.
So smart.
They didn't have to get nude.
Always leave them wanting more.
Yeah. That's how you get them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it? Like that Friends episode when Stanza would hit a real good joke and he'd just be like, all right, take it easy. See everybody. Just walk out the meeting. He's there for 5 minutes. He's gone for the rest of the day.
That's right.
You're like, oh my God, that shit was great.
What happened to Chris?
I'm still here.
Who knows?
See, Jeff, I told you I just had to warm up a little bit. You know, I'm
Cat
coming
was
out now.
trying to
I'm not worried.
jump up here, so.
All right, there he is.
Now, Chris was asking me early. He's like, "You ain't behaving because of me." I'm like, "Well, kind of. Just got to feel you out." No, I'm ready now.
He didn't want to swear or nothing. I try to get,
I am a good boy.
All I know is that Dirk is still evading me.
Derek.
Derek. Yeah.
Derek.
That's what we're gonna call him now, Derek.
Oh yeah, it's official now. He's Derek on the show now.
No, I call him Dirk. Do I sound like I'm making it too?
No. Other people have.
Yeah,
other people have.
Kevin Castle has never called him Dirk.
That was the biggest
Kevin's
one.
ever come on.
I was just gonna say my
always
wife
says Derek. You go back and listen to like years ago. Hey, Derek. It's just like
and he never corrected
it.
We even asked Dirk about him. We said, "Have you ever corrected him about it?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Why now? I can't now." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I guess." Fuck, man, you could just. I would have said something.
Dirk forever, so.
I brought this up on the show a couple weeks ago, and I know you'll know what I'm talking about, Jeff. At the end, when Spitball they mention all their shout outs, they keep saying Guns and Geeks. That show hasn't been around for 3 years. That was
the Inhuman Experience hasn't been around for like 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, me and Dirk did that like when I started with this show, and that was a side thing, and we had about 5-6 episodes, and that it ended, and Dirk's never told them. Dirk's gonna be like, "Well, y'all picking on me."
I don't think that they're particularly interested in changing the list. I think they're okay with adding to the end of it. I don't think they feel like editing anything.
It's just been so used to saying the same shit. It's like
the cadence is a certain way, and you get it, and that's it. Like,
if you listen to me, I still haven't gotten ours down.
No, but you do so well, and I sit there and I try to. I'm afraid if I distract you in any way that you're gonna mess up. So I don't know if I turn off the screen, if that'll help. No, that doesn't help. That makes it worse sometimes. If I just smile, you look into my eyes and you get lost. I don't know what happens.
Wait, what?
But that just shows the loyalty those guys have for all of us and all that,
Oh yeah, I mean, I've told this to Kevin Castle. I think y'all were on here when I told Kevin. It was one of them that was like, dude, yeah, it was Kevin Castle. When I told him, I was like, because of you and DT, y'all started something bigger than y'all realize, because it started with them too. Then it branched off to Wrestling Soup. Then it just branched out from different things, but it started with Don Tony and Kevin Castle.
Yeah, that's it. It's a extended, podcast family. A bit of a bayou, a bit of a garden.
Yeah, there you go.
Swamps kind of suck.
No, swamps are awesome, bro. As long as you don't fall in them, then you're fine.
As long as it's cold. If it's hot and humid, no.
Hey,
swamps
when you're in a swamp, make yourself a swamp thing.
Yeah. Did you see them damn videos of the gators that were frozen with just their noses up so they could still breathe?
They weren't
like frozen solid
water.
Yeah, they were underwater, but their noses were out the water just enough so their nostrils were open and they can actually breathe. But they were frozen. You can see them in the fucking eyes just staring at you. And you're just like, yeah, I'm good. You stay right there.
Yeah, that had to be the craziest thing. Snow in the Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf of America.
Respect.
It's funny when I say that shit out loud. Oh, my God. I noticed you, boy. The Gulf of America.
But yeah, that was shit. Even in Biloxi, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, they never, even when we see snow, they never see snow, and they're just a hop, skip, and a jump from us. Biloxi, Mississippi Gulfport, they got snow. That's what was crazy.
Dude, they got snow all the way in Milton, Florida. Milton, Florida is like northeast of Pensacola. It's a little town my sister lives in. They got 10 inches there. It's like she lives in the middle of horse country. Like their house is basically, if they had horses, it'd be perfect because they got so much land and they got a creek behind their house. And both of their neighbors have, farms or basically horses everywhere. And they actually rent out their stuff. But they got 10 inches of snow. Like they were showing me pictures of like, it looked like when I went to Iowa and would watch and like it would be in Iowa when I was a kid and look at my cousins and my aunt's backyard and just see nothing but snow where the cornfields were, as high as the cornfields were. And then after that, it was just, trees and the wilderness. And I was a city boy. So that shit looked crazy to me. Every morning you see a buck sitting out there, a big 12-pointer. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, that thing has got to be huge because he's sitting taller than the 6-foot stalks that are covered in snow. And it's like, holy shit, man, that's fucking nuts. But there was snow out there. It was nuts. The Gulf having that snow a couple weeks ago was just that's never going to happen. That makes me nervous on what's going to be the summer is going to be like, because that's the part that I don't like.
It was the aliens.
I don't know if it was aliens.
It was the aliens that made it all happen. California burns. We get snowed out. What the fuck? Something's going on.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people think that the government's behind all of it.
Well, isn't that fun to think that the government's behind it as opposed
I can believe
to
the
all
fire.
of
The
us?
snow would be like kind of hard to believe.
The snow one's a little different, but maybe who knows? You see what happened? What was it? I think it was like last year when I think it was Dubai that flooded out, and they haven't had rain like that ever, where it rained for like 12 hours straight or some shit, and it literally just flooding everything out because they don't have the infrastructure for a sewer system to handle that much water because they don't get that much water. They thought people said that was them, seeding clouds and actually making it rain. And it just, unfortunately, Mother Nature, once it got started, that was it. It was once you open the door, that's it. Everything's coming through.
Hey, like they said earlier, life finds a way. So will the weather.
That's right.
You should know we live in Hurricane Alley every year.
Hear about that.
Hurricane Alley is getting wider and wider as well.
Yep.
I mean, Asheville, North Carolina is not supposed to be part of Hurricane Alley.
Nope.
Yeah, but North Carolina has been hit by bad hurricanes.
Yeah, but nothing like what
Not
happened.
like they've been.
No. Y'all must not remember Hurricane Hugo. I think that was the one that hit the coast of North Carolina. And
that's a coast.
The coast, yes.
Asheville's like in the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, Asheville's further north, like further inland and higher. It doesn't get like that up there. It's not supposed to.
Yeah,
the mountains are the ones protected.
But
Asheville's close to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Really, they couldn't deal with the rain. I don't think they got the wind that we get down. They don't get the wind we get. That's for damn sure.
But they got like 2 feet of rain. It's not just like a little bit of rain.
That's what I'm saying. The rain is what hurt them, not the wind.
Yeah, but they got like Noah. They got like, I mean, they got like, old thunder gods angry at them.
But yeah, but down here, but that's the difference between them and us. We're going to get damaged by the wind. It's not the rain we're worried about down here during a hurricane. It's never the rain. You barely get any rain, believe it or not.
Yeah,
or you do, but it's not bad. It don't come in like buckets. It just comes in like a bad rainstorm, but with a lot like wind, like crazy as shit.
Well,
Yeah,
don't
the
ask
wind-
me
that's
that.
when- that's the
I
shit
don't
that
even
fucked up
understand
about
how
the
a
wind.
city can be built under sea level and not be Atlantis.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's very weird out here. That's why there's no basements. When we were talking about that earlier, that's why and the few basements that there are out here, they usually have a sump pump running to make sure the water is drained out because there's nowhere else for it to go. Like I can go outside right now in front of my house, dig not even a foot, 6 inches, and there's water. When it rains and it rains bad and it floods out here, it takes hours for it to go away. And then when it does, everything's just wet. No matter where you go, it's just wet. You step on something, muddy, wet. Anything that's grass, wet. Doesn't matter what you can do. Even when we had a drought, it was still you'd still find water under. But it's
The
just
only
weird.
perfect place is like the coast of Angola.
Yeah, probably.
So let's go.
Like I think the only, was it Pine Tops is where my family's originally from in North Carolina.
Where the hell is that?
I was about to say, if you don't know where it is, don't worry about it. Nobody does. Even people from North Carolina.
It's
It's like this little.
They're like, you
It's
country
this little town where it's literally only like a couple thousand people there.
One of those
You
ones
go
where literally everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, half of everybody's there is family too. So it's like you go 5 miles in any direction. Once you hit the water tower that says Pine Tops, you're not there anymore. That's how small it is.
So it's like assigned marriages almost, huh? You're marrying that guy's family's brother.
So it's like the town from the ranch without all the women being hot blondes.
Holy shit.
Right.
This is a tiny ass town. My neighborhood's bigger than this town.
The school has like 10
Oh, you're
deaths.
looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Google Maps.
Yeah, I told you. It's small.
Like,
It
Chris,
is-
what grade are you in? Yes, because there's only one. There's only one class. It's like
one
Little House
school.
on the Prairie.
Everybody literally knows everybody, and they're all related. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it's like everybody has a cousin. I have like somebody almost a bunch of cousins down there.
I could really say some bad jokes, but I'm not. I'm gonna be.
Yeah, this
I've been
place-
never
it's in the
even said
middle of
about it
fucking-
myself. It's a small ass town.
It's in the middle of the closest big city to it is like Greenville. And that's is not that close.
Right.
It is like because I know how the mountains are and shit out there. Like I've driven through North Carolina. My cousin used to live in Wilmington, so we've driven from Chicago to Wilmington, North Carolina. It's right there on the coast, and it's fucking nothing out there once you leave those cities. I don't understand it because, like I said, I'm a city boy, man. When I don't see I see nothing but trees and forest. I'm like, I don't like this. This is fucking weird. Some animals out there is gonna snatch my ass up and run into a fucking mutant black bear, or fucking some weird grizzly bear fucking thing with antlers.
Like my great grandparents had a farm down there, and we were going to do like a pit roast. So like my great grandfather grabs me and my brother, and it's like, pick a pig, pick a pig, pick a pig, pick a cow, and we're like, what? And so he's got a shotgun, right?
Oh Jesus!
And my brother just goes,
Obviously.
that cow, boom, right in front of us. So we're just like, fuck. And he's like, all right, Chris, you pick a pig. I'm just like,
Mr. Oinks, oh no!
that was and I was like, I don't know what.
Yeah, no, bro. See, like the closest thing I ever had to that was when I went to DR when I was a kid, and we went with my grandfather, picked up a bunch of chickens from like the market, like little baby chickens, because they were going to raise them up so then they could eat them later. And then of course, like no joke, like not even a year later, they show us a picture of like how big the chickens got.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it shows us how big the chickens
It's
got.
not gonna go well.
And then the next paragraph was showing a plate of the food that the chickens made for dinner that night. And I was just like, oh, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, man,
Mrs.
remember
Cluckers.
that when it was a little fucking little chickie. It was just the summer. I had him in my hand, a little chickie. And then they showed me they just like took the letter and it's a picture.
They show you a box of Popeyes.
Finger licking good.
Oh wow, yeah, it went to a good place.
I was like, Jesus Christ,
It was like a plate
man.
of red.
But you having to pull out a shotgun and be like, hey, go pick one out. Hey, you know what to do. What you mean, pick one out?
The thing is, we didn't do the shooting. My great
Bring in a
grandfather
back
did.
of bacon.
He took him out. And like it was nothing. I was like, okay.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Great grandpa don't play between that and like the decanters of like bourbon and whiskey and mash liquor and stuff that was on the wall.
All right, boys, grab your fiddle and your banjo. Let's go.
I don't know, Phatty. It seems like you need to recruit great grandpa for your robot fighting army.
Right?
Oh, he
Don't fuck around. Just point it and he'll shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, he is no longer with us. And I don't know who got the shotgun.
Chris is out there. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Oh.
Having to pick a goddamn pig. Jesus Christ. Man, I never had to see. I've never had to do the closest I've had to do something where I've had to take a life of an animal like on purpose is when I ran over like a raccoon or some shit in the like when I lived in Alexandria. Just to give you an idea, Alexandria, Louisiana, Jeff, is in the middle of Louisiana. It's literally almost like dead center in the middle, and there's nothing out there. There's nothing. Once you leave the city, There's nothing out there. Any of the city ain't that big, not that big at all. So I'm coming down one of the roads because there's no lights and they're all just 2-lane roads, double yellow lines. So ain't nobody passing nothing because you're gonna kill somebody if you do. I believe it was a raccoon, and I stopped and pulled over and was like, fuck, checked out my car, shit, looked back, flashlight, raccoon, I broke its back. Yeah, and I was like, and it was just suffering, and I was like, went back to the car, popped the trunk, take the crowbar out, and just one time real fast. I don't want him to suffer anymore, but that's as close as I've ever gotten. But like, hey, that one, Grandpa. God damn it.
I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. I've never forgotten that.
Yeah, bro, I've never done anything like that. That's the closest I've ever gotten to, and I've hated it. I've had an armadillo. You know how you guys know that armadillo can jump?
What?
Like, yeah, I learned that living in Louisiana. Like I said, I was a city boy before that. But armadillo can jump 6 to 7 feet in the air easily if they want to.
Oh,
Okay.
And what'll end up happening is they'll jump before the car gets there.
Even white
ball
armadillos?
up and fucking boom, fucks up your whole windshield. Go through it. Like if they don't get high enough, they usually hit the front end of the car or the truck, depending on what it is you're driving.
No one like my joke. White armadillos can't jump.
Why? What the hell?
I am not wise in the ways of armadillos. I just know that they're all over the side of the roads in Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Them fuckers can jump. I don't know. I don't like them.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, there's some weird shit. And out here, there's just weird shit out here in general.
Okay.
I grew up in Chicago, man. I don't fucking know nothing about this.
There's different weird shit there, too.
Yeah, that's much different weird shit out there.
Don't worry, Gary. You stay with me.
Yeah. You live very, very far from me, bro. I'm better off by myself over here.
I live in Chalmette, Louisiana.
Oh, my God.
Inbreeders.
Yeah. The darker you are, the less likely you are to be.
I live in the rural part of the metropolitan area. You're bad to Gary.
Which part of True Detective season 1 are you in?
What's that?
Which part of season 1 True Detective is you?
I never watched it.
What?
Yeah,
season 1's the only season to watch.
Yeah, anyone here watched? I've never watched.
I've never watched it. I don't. I never had cable like that. I got streaming services, but I've heard it's a great show.
Don't make the mistake of watching season 4 for whatever you do. It's hideous.
No, like the last season of Game of Thrones.
Worse.
Oh,
last 2 seasons of Sons of Anarchy.
No. Those were not bad at all.
Those were not good.
No, they
should have finished that story a long time. Like they dragged it out too long.
No, that one was fine. I didn't have a problem with that show.
No, they should have killed
Game of Thrones ended like trash, man. I will die on that hill.
What?
Game of Thrones. That ended was so trash.
You and everybody else who watched the show.
I never watched Game of Thrones. Not a single episode.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've seen like clips of like the Red Wedding or some shit.
Oh, dude, you need to go back and watch that show.
No,
was it the Ice King dude or whatever? That was disappointing. Or the Night King, that was garbage.
I thought the Night King was in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Everything was garbage. Everything, the way it ended, it was always garbage.
As bad as it ended, there were still good things to watch. But yeah, they really bastardized this. And the worst part is that George R.R. Martin's still alive and he still hasn't written the next goddamn book. So clearly he doesn't know what the hell he wanted to happen. But I mean, I know what the end is, and the end isn't anything what they want to. The end is obviously that Jon Snow was Robert Baratheon's oldest bastard son, and he was the rightful king. I mean, not that he was some Targaryen, where's his blonde hair and alabaster skin? It was like ridiculous. They turned into some sort of incest pile.
I mean, even if he ended up being a Targaryen, it would have been fine.
Well, that was the end game to that story all along. It's what the show did.
He still would have had a
character. The more, my opinion, is where they screwed up. I mean, John was always—he's like Darth Vader. He was always going to get to where he was going to be. That was the whole premise of the whole story. But it was the other characters, like I said, in that show that they. I mean, like the one that kills me the most is Jamie Lannister. To me, his story was better than anybody else's, even Jon Snow's.
And
I just
then,
love Jamie. To me, it's the way your boy played that character too. I mean, Jamie's my favorite character by far.
Yeah, but him doing Brienne of Tarth, no.
not even that. If you're gonna do that, stay with her and stay where you were doing. Don't go back to Cersei like that. That's where I was like, yo, why?
It was also trite. The two
was like,
brothers
wow.
dying together in the flames. The mountain.
Yeah.
And the hound.
The big fight between them two. It turned out it was like, really?
Yeah.
Really? That was the fight we've been waiting for since season 1.
Right.
I wish I could add to the conversation, but I have no idea what any of you guys are saying.
But yeah, that was trash.
Trash.
Dexter's original ending was trash.
Wait, what part was that?
Dexter. That was another
I
trash
didn't watch
one.
Dexter.
All right, so Dexter, I watched season 1. I'm like, this is pretty good, but this can't possibly last. So I stopped. It went for like 9 seasons.
Yeah, that 8th season was like, nah, we're just
it got weird. There's have you seen the new thing that's come out on Paramount Plus? Dexter Original Sin shows him when he's a kid when he first gets the job as the medical examiner.
I mean, I know it exists. I haven't seen it. So
I've actually followed it because we got stuck on Dexter, but yeah, we didn't like the last episode. Yeah,
he kills people.
Yeah, well, it tells you more of the backstory. Even though they tell you during the seasons of Dexter of the backstory of how they found Dexter, but they didn't show the backstory of how all that even began. How Dexter's mother become, in that cargo container with her 2 boys, chopped up into pieces. Spoiler alert. It's nuts. It's crazy. It's like, okay, and then the Dexter that they're showing now, the original Sin, they're just bringing back into, because Dexter was a younger brother. Well, he had an older brother. Well, they obviously weren't raised together, so now we're showing that part of it.
Like a young Sheldon.
It is, but it's with serial killers and murderers. It's a little different. It's not so much fun in Meemaw. They call me Moon Pie.
Am I the only person?
It's about blades and stabbing motherfuckers in the chest.
That absolutely hated Big Bang Theory.
No, I liked it.
Are you fucking kidding me? You didn't like Big Bang Theory?
No.
It wasn't the best show, but you grow to love it.
It was cute. I don't think you're the only person that hated it, because that's very unlikely. But of the 4 of us, you seem to be.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Well, he's offended.
No, he
gets. I was about to say that wasn't me.
That was me. I didn't know. You don't even.
He's just like
he's in the backstage laughing and shit. Yeah, funny. Haha. Don't like Big Bang Theory? Say it again. Say it again.
Okay, we
say
didn't like
what
the Big
again,
Bang Theory.
motherfucker? Say what?
Sheldon sucks all the way. Okay.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. Like the character of Sheldon is why I didn't like it. Like I was like, why would at some point like no one would want to be friends with this dude?
That's not true, man. You've never had an autistic friend?
Yes.
Okay, well then there you go.
They weren't this bad.
Well, you ever have one that's a Nobel Prize, contending astrophysicist?
Also, no.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
they weren't that smart.
Well, these guys are, they're super nerds. That's the whole thing. I mean, this is the ultimate geek fantasy. I mean, two of them ended up with hot blondes. Come on.
Yeah, but look, I could sit here and argue about some of the character flaws in that show. But it had its moments.
Yeah.
It really did.
It was a good
The
show.
guy who lived with his mother became an astronaut, and still nobody respected him.
Nobody gave a shit about him.
Sounds about right for astronauts, which is sad.
Unless you just keep
I
on
was
screaming.
in space. We don't care, mother.
I care.
I mean, I care.
Was it a skit? Where was it a skit that was Buzz Aldrin? He was talking about shit like that. Was that on Big Bang, or was it on? It was on one of the shows. Like, I was in space too. It's like, oh, I sound like that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I get it now.
On the tip of my mind.
I think it was the one when Wallace was bragging about how he was on space all the time, and then he finally saw like a video of Buzz Aldrin talking to little kids doing trick or treating, and him telling them how he's like, that's what you look like. He's like, oh shit, I'm the creepy guy just talking about how I'm in space. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy no more. I'm good.
I will
admit,
right. The James Earl Jones episode was funny as hell.
Oh, that was great. Sheldon got sick of him, didn't want to hang out with him no more.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Sheldon, we should go hang out.
He's like, you like Star Wars, don't you? And he's like,
Bruh, it's funny. I'll bring that up because it was on the front TV today. And I told shout out Brandy, shout out. I told her, look, if James Earl Jones was alive and I called you up and he's like, look, I'd be like, honey, James wants me to go to Tijuana with him. I gotta go. She was like, just no hookers and no was it? No hookers or something else. And I just kind of was like, tell her bullshit. I'm like, sorry, honey. James said, nope, I can't do. Click. It's like, you go. If Darth Vader tells you to go to Tijuana, you go.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get in trouble, but yeah, I'd probably go.
Huh?
Like James Earl Jones, are you shitting me?
Well, James Earl is dead, so it don't really matter. I'm not going to Tijuana with him anytime soon.
Mufasa.
Or I don't think there was ever much risk of James Earl Jones calling me and inviting me to go to Tijuana.
No, you didn't think you had a shot?
Get drunk with
far
James Earl
smaller
Jones and
than
be like,
the aliens coming.
Please. Dude, King Jaffe, or what was I got? When he played
King
Jumanji.
Jaffe,
yeah, King Jaffe.
My son works.
Yeah, I had to have him do Thulsa Doom.
Oh yeah,
that's
no
right.
Shit.
He
I
was
forgot
Thulsa
about
Doom.
that one. No shit.
That's what's up.
There's a movie series they should remake.
They have.
They have with Jason Momoa. We were talking about that earlier.
Oh,
It sucked.
I forgot about that one because it was so bad.
Yeah, it was very bad. It's not that they can't. Every time they try to do something good, it's rights. That's why you don't see a lot of Conan stuff. It's like a hassle to get rights for Conan. It goes back and forth.
It's like
Yeah,
what
sounds
was it?
about right.
They all like with Schwarzenegger and Predator. They kept trying to get him to come back for it, and he wanted to do it, and every time the studio kept messing it up.
I'm glad they didn't bring him back for the second one because I think the second one's the best one, in my opinion. But
oh no, the first
he
one,
was going to come back.
The original is like a perfect movie.
I love the second. No,
he was going to come back.
Predator 2? You like better than Predator 1?
Oh yeah, I've always.
Sorry, Chris Matthews, but what the fuck are you talking about?
And you know I'm a Predator fan. You know that.
I know. That's why I don't understand what you're talking about.
I've always been more fan. Now I like them both, but I've always been more fan of the second one than the third one. I mean the first one. And I like Predators too. That was actually a very good one.
Well, the role in Predator 2 that Gary Busey got, they were kind of planning for Arnold Schwarzenegger to come back as Dutch.
Yeah, I remember that.
And because at the last minute they didn't want to pay Arnold, that's when they got Gary Busey. But Schwarzenegger's has been game to come back forever. And now
that time's passed, though. It really has. You gotta, I mean, some of that shit's gotta just be left alone at some point.
Yeah. I mean, again, with Predator 1, Predator is like a perfect movie. They're only gonna F it up.
I mean, like I said, Predators was
from every other
I like
Predator movie
Predators.
they've done except Prey.
Prey was garbage.
What? Prey was all right.
Prey was friggin' garbage.
I heard it was good. I haven't seen it, but now
Prey was okay.
Now I'm not that.
Prey was not bad.
Too much CGI and not enough practical.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
I can see
those movies to me have to be practical effects. It makes it. That's the one thing I've always said this with Alien versus Predator. The director always had the attitude: I want fighting scenes with two guys in a costume because it's going to make the fight in the shot. It's going to look real. And that's why I love Aliens. It's practical. It looks real.
Yeah, but we all grew up on special effects that were more practical than they were.
Yeah, but
digital.
I think they overdo it with the CGI now.
Yeah, it's because they can make it look better.
No, it don't look better because you could tell.
Depends.
Nothing will ever be practical effects. Nothing ever will be. When something's in the shot,
no more models.
So much better.
No more little tiny models. The Star Wars.
I get what you're saying about the CGI in Prey. It was kind of but the movie itself was good.
Yeah, the movie's not bad. I like the movie. The movie's pretty
now
good.
The one where they were on the alien planet, was it Predators?
That was Predators.
Yeah, with Adrian Brody.
Yeah,
that
one was all right.
That was okay. That's okay to watch at home on a rainy Sunday afternoon. But if you went to the theater and paid $18 for that, you'd be like,
yeah, you'd be pissed. You'd be like,
no, I went. I did, but I didn't pay $18 either. That was
I paid
probably like
prices
$8.
for it when I went to see it, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that expensive back then.
Okay, so it was $13 back then, but $13 is probably like $23 now.
I can't believe we forgot this. The Predator. That was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That was the one.
The one with
I don't even remember who's in it. No one famous.
Is that the one where it was all those
yeah
prisoners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
and the Iron Man suit at the end.
I remember I actually watched that episode or watched that movie like right before me and Phatty came on because he's like, oh, I got a homework assignment for you. Go watch The Predator. And I watched it literally before we came on. Gave a synopsis of the movie like 3 minutes from start to finish. And Phatty just sat there, was like, yep, that's pretty much it. Piece of shit.
So if I'm going to pick one horror movie or one thriller movie that came out within the last 8 months to see, what should it be?
Terrifier, I guess.
Oh God, no!
Horror movie?
I hated Terrifier, the first one.
I've
never seen him. I couldn't tell you.
How about something you've seen? That would be helpful. I should have made my question more specific. Something that you've seen and that you loved, and don't give me any spitball media recommendations just based on what you heard, because my taste and theirs is like 90% different. And when we agree on the same thing, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's why it's hard for me to watch listen to them, because they talk about a lot of horror, and it's like that's not my genre.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, they're true cinephiles. Like they pay attention to the directors, the style, the use of color and shadow and music and
cinematography and background.
Yeah, this past week they really delved into that a lot.
They can appreciate a shitty movie when it does other things very well. I can't appreciate a shitty movie no matter what else it does. I mean, I can appreciate like the visual of Superman coming down and rescuing the people, and somehow Batman thinking that's nefarious. Like I can appreciate the visual and go, this movie's fucking stupid. But okay, so no recommendations like this. Heretic,
I haven't seen
is Long Legs, is
Heretic and Long Legs should be my two.
Now I could suggest like what I'd like to see, like Nosferatu. I want to watch that. I want to see The Heretic. That looks interesting. I'm in movies like that. I'm not into like mutilation movies.
Yeah, me too.
That's not my thing. Like I like Saw 1 because it was different. But when you kept going with the same, it got to the point where I always said, you just go and watch people get mutilated at this point.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you're going to see it.
But if it's a proper, like it was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, it better be gory. It's like, Thanksgiving. That was a proper horror slasher movie. Was it good? No, it's stupid as hell, but at least it was what it was supposed to be. But like the Mist, I prefer the Mist. It had funny parts. It was interesting. It had the alien part, the old gods part. So something for me. But all right. So Matthews, I know you see a lot of movie. What do you recommend? And you're a Baltimore guy at heart.
Long Legs or Heretic.
Long Legs or Heretic. Okay.
Long Legs was a different type of movie, and Nicolas Cage's performance in it is still like unnerved me.
Okay.
Hugh Grant in Heretic is phenomenal.
Is that the one where the girls go into the house and then he's
the missionaries go to his door?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and he's like, "No, you can't leave." No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. No,
no.
I'm not walking. I know what house.
The reason he's doing what he's doing is brilliant.
Okay.
And it cuts through all the bullshit of faith versus, and I was like, oh, this is so good.
See, it's something I have to talk my wife into watching something, and I have to tell her it's not horror. So it's got to at least be not horror.
Go with Heretic.
Like thriller, some sort of psychological.
Go with Heretic
thriller.
in that one.
Yeah.
On that one. If your wife's not into like horror, but she wants to see something that's kind of in that realm.
Now, mind you, whatever I put on, she's going to play on it with her phone and fall asleep anyway. But I have to still put it on in good faith.
Then a Heretic between those two.
Be like, I paused it. We can finish it later. Oh shit.
No, I do. It's not even no shit. It's like it's.
And you can't go wrong with the classics.
It's true. It's true. But I want to see something new. I'm not really someone who likes to go back and watch things over and over again.
Now I can do that with certain stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, I was like, I could do that with certain stuff where I can watch over and over again. Like I just watched, I think my favorite, my most recent offender of this is Deadpool and Wolverine. I think I've watched that thing since it's come out on Disney Plus like 6 times. Wow. Like I just keep on watching it over and over again. I don't even care. My wife just looks at me. She's like, "What are you doing? Are you watching Deadpool and Wolverine again?" And I'm like, "Uh-huh." She's like, "Did you just watch it yesterday?" I'm like, "Uh-huh." You know, when I was on vacation from work, I was like, yeah, I watch it again. What? He's gone.
Yeah, he really doesn't like that choice.
That was Phatty that time. That wasn't me. I didn't get him out of here. But,
No, what I was gonna say just now is I'm gonna break. I'm not a person that goes to the movies and see a horror movie. It's just I never have been, even when I was a kid. But I do want to go see 28 Years Later at the movie theater. That trailer sold me. I'm like, because I've seen the other two and I liked them really a lot. Yeah, that trailer sold me. I'm gonna break my rule and go see that one at the theater.
We actually talked about that one on the podcast too, because we were like, when we saw that trailer, and I was like, you see the trailer? I was like, no. He's like, okay, don't. We're gonna watch it on the podcast. he's like, I seen parts of it, and I stopped, and I was like, and it's actually pretty good. It looks really good. Like, I like that. I'm glad that they're done with the. I think that's supposed to be the end of the trilogy of it, right? Because it was what?
No, they're gonna keep going with it.
They're gonna keep going. It was
yeah,
28 days.
I think this is starting like a new trilogy or something. I'm not sure. I've heard something like that. I could be wrong.
I don't know if they should.
I would have to go back and watch the first two because I really don't remember much about them.
Oh, they're good. I mean, they were original. One of those originals. The zombies one, like they were, they won like the slow moving type. They would actually just run at you and shit like that.
Yeah,
almost like the ones that Will Smith encountered in a Legend.
But those were vampires, though.
Yeah, well,
those were zombie/vampires.
At a certain point, there's really not much difference between revenants and revenants.
That is a movie I want a sequel to, The Revenant.
What? The same guy goes out and gets attacked by another bear?
Yes.
It's going to be like Jaws for the Revenge. It's going to be the bear's mother.
That movie was. I didn't like that movie at all. I don't know what was so good about it.
You killed my cousin. As the bear starts to speak.
That's like what Jeff was saying earlier with the Northman. I did not like that movie at all. It started off well. That's what I wanted to say earlier. It started off well, and it's building you up, and whatever they tried to build you up for, it never happened. It's like
it did though.
I didn't find the build up to be any or whatever the payoff very good at all.
I remember thinking it was pretty good, but that it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. And around the same time, it wasn't like DiCaprio in either Django or The Hateful Eight or both, and they were both better.
Oh yeah,
great.
I thought Django
was great in
Django.
Django was fucking good. Yeah. Man, seeing interviews about Jamie Foxx talking to him like that scene where he cuts his hand, he actually cuts his hand. Like that was great, and then he just kept on going. He's like, man, I got Leonardo DiCaprio there just yelling nigger. I mean, it was fucking bleeding this and that. And it's like, holy shit! I'm like, god damn.
We at Bayou Geeks did not condone with Gary.
Oh my god, you and that shit, bro.
All you gotta say,
you put the plug in. You put that disclaimer, you bitch ass nigga, bro.
Oh, I mean,
it's in the context of the conversation. It's all right.
Who gives a shit, bro? I say that word all the time.
Okay, Hulk Hogan.
No, I liked Samuel L. Jackson in that movie.
Samuel Jackson was so
in the house.
Samuel L. Jackson's good in every movie, even terrible movies.
You've talked about all kinds of ways to kill him.
Even in Deep Blue Sea, he's awesome. I mean, he even dies in the most fantastic way.
Yeah, he did. You know that he wrote. He said the only way that he'll be in the movie is if he got killed. He didn't like the movie at all. He didn't like the script. He said you have to kill me spectacularly to do it. Like you have to fucking go all out.
It's the only memorable part of the movie.
Did.
Yeah.
It's like going all Furious Jackson on us, which I know wasn't Samuel L. Jackson. The giant shark just jumps up and eats him and drags him back down. That was fantastic. That was like,
and the CG on that was so bad because it comes up, he's sideways.
That was a Tarantino movie, wasn't it?
Deep Blue Sea, no.
Django. No, it was like LL
Django, yeah.
Yeah,
Django was. Django was, yeah. But I remember fucking Sam Jackson and Django, and not before Django, before Pulp Fiction. Oh god, that scene is still one of my favorite scenes.
No, it's crazy. I just watched
does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch? What? Say what again? Say what again?
Marcellus
what country? What language they speak? What? What? He's like, say what again?
I mean, Samuel L. Jackson is great in everything he does.
Yeah, he's great.
I think it's safe to say,
even Coming to America.
Well, he played a nerd in Jurassic Park. He was like a techie.
Yeah,
and he was great in that.
He wasn't he in wasn't he in one of the Die Hard movies?
The second one.
Die Hard 3? The third one. The third one, the one in New York, right?
Right. He's like the cab driver.
That has the scene where Bruce Willis had to come out and he's wearing
The sign.
the
Yeah,
sign.
yeah. Here we go.
Oh,
Us
yeah.
at the Bayou Geeks.
The sandwich
Production.
board.
What Chris is about to say.
Yeah, that sandwich board in Harlem, bro. It ain't Harlem what it is now, because now Harlem what it is now is just a bunch of 20-something-year-old white blonde girls with pit bulls that they rescued. Their named Tiffany.
He got shot.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I like Jeremy Irons.
I like Jeremy Irons.
He was a good villain.
Yeah, there's certain people that like are always portrayed as a villain, like, and they
Well,
try to play him as a good
everybody
guy.
who was in a Die Hard movie was a good villain. I mean, Alan Rickman. I can't think of the guy's name in the second one. He's the one that played Death in Bill and Ted and all that shit. William Sadler.
He was wasn't he supposed to be like his brother from the first one?
No,
Jeremy Irons
that was Jeremy Irons. Yeah,
Oh, that was
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
I love Alan Rickman too.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers!
But y'all ready to get on out of here? We almost 2 hours in, and
I'm good, bro.
Sure,
We're having a good time.
Gotta roll. Yeah, we having a
Just
good time.
conversating, bro.
I got things to do. But Jeff, thank you for coming on.
Yes.
We would like you to come on again if you want to come back on, hang out, we'll do a live show, hang out and yap and
I love live shows. It's fun. You get to see the comments in the chat.
Yeah, sometimes those are fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are fun.
It's mostly Dirk.
Derek.
Derek. Yeah, use Derek.
God damn it, Derek.
I don't know. Chris brings a party up in here too when he's on. He all his friends in Baltimore.
Yeah, his friends are actually his friends and they actually show up. Our friends don't give a shit.
Yeah, right. No shit, right?
The company we work for, we both worked for the company like a total of like between the two of us like 25 years.
Except the boss. The boss shows love.
Oh, he does show up. Ski Woo. I love Ski Woo. Ski Woo is the shit.
I mean, I've known those guys since like college, so like it's been like we've been like this super tight knit group of people. So
doesn't matter.
Me and Phatty got no.
I don't think my brother has ever listened to my show once. My father, when people ask him if he's listened to the show, he laughs and says no.
Yeah, it sounds like my family.
I don't know if my parents have ever listened to my show. I don't think my daughters are listening to my show.
I don't think I've ever told.
I know my sister. At least one of my sisters has listened to the show.
No, I know my kid listens to the show. So
yeah, I love Taryn.
I think the kid might have listened because because when I told him who PJ was, he goes, "I know who Justin Gabriel is." So that might have been impressive to him. But
that's right. You do that. You should do that show with PJ Black.
Yeah,
and sometimes
Mr. Thomas. Actually, it's probably going to be more Mr. Thomas than PJ because PJ is like super all over the place, and Mr. Thomas is like seriously, he's like the most responsible person I've ever met in my life. He's like the only person he rivals is me.
You're talking about Mr. Thomas from MLW, right?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Nice.
Shout out to Mr. Thomas. He's fantastic. You send him a text, he texts you back not the same day, usually within a few minutes. It's like, dude, you're a celebrity. Like, you take a few days. It's okay. Like my mother doesn't text back that quickly, which is like, I'm not complaining. Like my kid, sometimes if I text him, it'll take him 6 or 7 days to text back. It's like, Thomas, oh my God. You ask him to do something, he does it. Can you help me with the show? Yes. I mean, just what a solid dude. Just like a good guy.
That's what's up.
And he can fly, man. Like he always describes himself as the worst professional wrestler in the world. And then I saw him on Superfight or whatever a couple weeks ago, and he's like taking a spear off a ladder out the ring through a chair. He's doing a swanton out there. I'm like, I didn't know you had that in you. I'm texting AJ Scales from The Office at MLW. Did you know he had that in him? He goes, I've seen signs.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of it with my Fight Club. So,
well, we're gonna have Alex Kane on supposedly in 3 Mondays, which means you'll probably hear it in like 6 Mondays, but because Mish actually produces those, God bless him. But yeah, they're sort of low down. But next week we're recording with Thomas's old tag team partner Max Smashmaster, who also goes by Arcturus or Arcturius. Then we got Vinny Pacifico, and then Alex Kane, and then the week after that, Shazza McKenzie, our first active female wrestler. I had a retired female wrestler, Siren, on. So I'm hoping that we will, now that we've broken the active gender gap, that we're going to do that. And Thomas has, I cannot jinx myself. I cannot jinx myself in this. I want to say it, but I can't. All I can say is that he's promised me a unique opportunity.
There you go.
Actually, I was about to say, Jeff, there's anything you want to plug before we head on out?
Yeah, check out Garden of Doom. If you've subscribed to Garden of Doom, you get all 3 shows, so check them all out. There's something somewhere in that catalog is going to be for you. Hopefully lots of things. Just finished my Parade of Professors, where I had 4 shows in a row with Professor Michael York, Dr. Edwin Barnhard, Professor Richard Spence, and Professor John F. White. 2 of them have done many of the great courses. One of them is from the channel Kreckenford. It has over 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he actually is doing the mythology database used by over 70 universities around the world, including Harvard, Yale, MIT. So no big deal there. And next week, go with my good friend See the Superior from Unpopular Review Entertainment, and we're going to do the Peacock mythology, and then J.J. Johnson from Southern Demonology, his 5th visit to the show. And we're finally getting to demons. So, yeah, I got all sorts of... And Gary Wayne coming on this week. We're going to record on the Watchers, the 4 Horsemen, and demons. So, nothing spooky Garden of Doomy going on. And one day we're going to have Chris Castro or Mrs... I'm sorry, who's that? I'm sorry. We're going to have Phatty and Mrs. Phatty, perhaps, on different subjects, talking about the Titans and stuff. But,
nice.
You know, it's all good. It's all good in the garden stuff. And if anything else, you can find me at Wrestling Soup. I do the Body Slam briefs, which literally are brief. They're like 7 to 25 minutes, and they're periodic. And now I'm on the SmackDown review show. So, you know,
That's
Chris.
Yeah. Chris, you got anybody shout out?
Anything?
Or
You want
me?
to shout out anything?
Oh, no.
No, the other Chris.
Just my usual people. Everybody back home. House and crew. Coming back. Jeff, when I get back, we got to get together. I haven't forgotten about that.
Yeah, I think you moved just to avoid it.
No, I did not. I just couldn't get my schedule together before I moved to get that. But I promise you, when I'm back east, we will get together. Shout out to my people. I gotta shout out my family too. During this past week or so, like with everything that's going on in my personal life, they've really been there for me. So, Mom, Dad, Rob, I love y'all. That's all I got.
We love you too, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys too, man.
I'm gonna just do shout outs. I'm gonna put it all in the description this week. I'll shout out everybody in the descriptions to go run through it. Got a headache. So, and Gary, you wanna?
Yeah, make sure you guys out there like and subscribe. How many subscribers are away from 100? Are we still at 90?
We're like 7 away.
7.
See, 7 more people. Come on, lucky number 7. Hit the 7. Hit the 7.
Get the 100.
Playing some craps. But we appreciate all the support. Guys on podcast, please make sure you guys rate and review us. Leave a comment. Ask us a question if you want. We'll go back and check a look at them. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It was a great show. I'm glad to see everybody.
Like
Jeff, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, thanks for making time for us. We appreciate it. We know you're busy. We got a busy schedule. Got things to do. We just appreciate it a lot. We really do.
Appreciate the invite.
That's what's up.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come on here too.
Well, when Jeff brought your name up, he's like, Chris gonna be on. I was like, well, we don't do this. We're not doing it for the month. We're taking a break. And I was like, I felt bad. I was like, Chris, you want to go on?
Derek is gonna be so pissed.
Shout out to Derek.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah, we didn't forget about you.
We didn't forget about you.
Yeah, but we'll see y'all next week, same time. It'll be me and Gary again. And hopefully this week I can finally do the other show too, the Bourbon Street Shots. So hopefully get DJ Fleming on whatever, DJ Richie Rich, whatever fuck his name is. I'm going for
everybody.
But I know I didn't actually. Did I? Oh, actually, did I play that? No.
Well, no, we're not doing it now. Not doing it. What?
Bourbon Street Shots. Bourbon Street Shots. Bourbon Street Shots. Bourbon Street Shots. With the OG. OG Bayou Geek. Bourbon Street Shots. Mr. Phatty 316. Bourbon Street Shots. Come on, get your headphones and put on Bourbon Street Shots.
Yeah, I said, fuck these bitches. I'm going solo.
Man, ego. So much ego.
Going solo on my own channel. I'm leaving the band on my own channel.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Y'all just do that show. I'm not coming on that show.
Ridiculous. I love you. All right, y'all.
I still have to record y'all.
You don't.
My bad.
Hit the wrong button again.
Good one, baby.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Later, everybody. Y'all be good. Peace out.
Peace.